Welcome back, friends. Some more excerpts from my book, Life I Refuse to Give Up. See how life can be so simple? We can all have money in the world. We can be the most famous people in the world, but we crave for something that's most important in life, which is beyond being famous and rich, which is the pursuit of sheer happiness. Happiness, in the end, rules above each and everything that we see and experience in life. My point is that you would get what is destined to be yours, then why worry? You would discover everything that you've thought of since day one, but you have to duke it out. I feel the mind has a mind of its own. Sometimes what the mind thinks is beyond imagination. Our mind is like a vagabond, a wanderer. But what we need to learn is to control our mind. Can we control our mind? I think we can. But we have to realize that we have all the right and strength to control our mind. We start telling the mind that we are not scared of anything. Our mind will start reflecting it than that in its actions. Sometimes your mind would function like a person unknown to you, but in actuality, you can still control your mind. We need to tell the mind that our willpower is so strong that the mind cannot waver from what we believe we could accomplish. So the next time when the mind says you can't do it, remember and tell the mind, I can do it and I will do it. I believe humans have the same issues, the same problems. The day we start realizing that we're all in the same boat, we would all start to get along. It has been years and years of hardships that the human race has faced and is facing and will keep facing. The human race has to realize that we are the only ones who help each other. Religion is the only thing that divides us into many sects, groups, castes, and creeds. In fact, that is the reason we discuss everything but religion. It's really strange that religion, which was made by us, divides us. And it is really strange since all religions pretty much preach the same thing. All of them preach love, peace, harmony, knowing each other, loving each other, helping each other. But it is that very religion that divides us. Religion will also find its followers. It will also keep growing, but it should not be at the cost of dividing us. The real hero in the story is our soul, which always knows the truth. It can decipher the good and the bad in a matter of seconds. The war between hard work and fate is quite confusing at times. A rickshaw driver might work day and night, but still would struggle to make a mark in life. What's his fault? Does he lack dedication? A laborer works very hard and the last chapter of his life is no different from the first one. How can we explain this? That his hard work was any less than the rest? Why doesn't he deserve the stars or the luxuries? We've always been told by our parents, elders to work hard and leave the rest to God. Then why does God give us pain and nothing else? We're told that it's your karma, it's your destiny. Now, how do you explain this? If my fate has nothing to brag about, then how will my results change? How will my hard work pay off? I've asked these questions so many times and the answers have been vague. Lord Krishna in Mahabharata tells Arjuna, perform the deed, leave the rest to me. Similarly, I've worked very hard at all my business ventures, but not all turned out to be successful. How do you explain this? Some poets have said, whatever happens, happens for the good. How can a business venture failing happen for the good? These are many unanswered questions of life that will remain so forever. Some holy books preach that your present failure is the result of your old sins. I believe it is what you prefer to believe, whatever suits your senses. At the end of it, we cannot succumb to any negativity in life. We need to think beyond the rickshaw driver's life. We need to look beyond the poor laborer who gains nothing more than food on the table. We need to break the preconceived notions that deter us from reaching greater heights. I may not succeed, but I need to keep my faith. I may fall, but I need to rise from the ashes again and again. Unleashing the hero within is the work of the brave heart. Realizing a potential may take several years because for decades you failed to do so. I wrote about the negatives because that is another reality of life which needs to be addressed before we hop on the bike of life. The road will not be smooth, but once we get a hang of it, the rest will all be a cakewalk. I don't fear life anymore because I've accepted its meanness. I take life head on since I have seen more downs than ups. It is the outlook that changes this time. You start expecting the least and discover the best. That should be the mantra for all of us. Lowering expectations doesn't mean we lower our goals in life. We need to aim high, dream big, and create unlimited opportunities. Consistent hard work will prevail sooner or later. I had mentioned this in chapter 5 also, that we all need to take pride in who we are. God has made us differently, that we should not compare ourselves to others. We don't need to, I am who I am for what I am for a certain reason. Let us not question that reason because it will solve nothing. We were born with some inner talents and powers. Now we have to create our success on our own. God gave the best voice to Whitney Houston, Phil Collins, Lata Mangeshkar, Kishore Kumar, Mohammed Rafi, but many more and many more. But the story doesn't end there. It actually begins at this point. All these great singers made the most of it. They rehearsed for hours every single day when their friends partied hard. I've said this before and I will keep repeating this again and again. The champion is a very lonely person working his way up in life. My friends, it's a lonely battle that has a lot of pain, sweat, tears, blood, and rejections. People will never tell you to excel. People will tell you the most negative stories you can imagine. Should you care? I say, no one should. You have to rise above applauding winners and become one yourself. The day I decided to write this book, I was scared, nervous, and a bit ashamed. What would people think and say? The truth is, what difference these people make to my life and existence? Why should I listen to them? Are they paying my bills? Are they buying clothes for my kids? Do they care if I had a family vacation in the last 10 years or not? Then why should I care about their existence? People surrounding us are mere individuals lost in the crowd. Who knows? They may just be waiting for you to take the very first step. We spend our entire lifetime finding others' mistakes and faults. If only we had spent half the time knowing ourselves, we would have found the real hero within. We can only get what we want when we actually know what we want. Ladies and gentlemen, life is tough, but we have to keep fighting. Smile. You can confidently say, yes, I can, knowing that what you strive for is definitely going to be yours one day. Work hard in life, and trust me, the results will follow. Life, I refuse to give up.